Fala galerinha, vambora de Hitman 47, a segunda fase, a Morte da família na Alexa, na mansão dela. Partiu jogar profissional, só bora, vambora.
Thornbridge Manor, the Carlisle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlisle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlisle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlisle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
Vambora.
This is a private area, sir. Phineas Whitman, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlisle. Please wait.
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlisle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlisle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlisle.
Beleza. Só aqui é meia hora de conversa. Só por Deus, olha.
I know I oughtn't say anything, but I'm so relieved you're here. Everything's just so strange. Preparing for Madame's funeral, and then she turns up alive. But then the awful business with her brother Zachary, and all this security. I've never seen the place guarded like this, and I dare say I don't like it at all.
Beleza.
Oh, by the way.
This is what I mean. You have to be practiced
Well, I
down
thought
before
you'd
you
be
can
mad
have
at me,
Carlisle
but she just
inside.
thanked me.
Entramos.
We gotta really talk about it.
Oh, what did I tell you? She's a sensible
I just
woman.
need to check.
And that
That's
stuff
a bit
in your
excessive,
actions like
I think,
manipulation.
considering the fact that
I
I
know,
spotted no less than
I
2 routes to get inside
I
the
guess I
house.
thought she was gonna
unseen.
read into them and freak out. Say I must have done something
Tô
to her.
revistando o menino, hein?
Man, Caroline really did a number on you.
Estão revistando nosso menino. Legal. Só vamos, hein? O homem aqui é brabo.
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madame Carlisle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've traveled from London. Would you care for some refreshments? Or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me, sir. I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlisle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlisle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlisle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlisle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A lot.
Beleza.
Murder Mystery 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
Já vamos fazer tudo mais rapidinho.
Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly
Pra
what
gente
you would
não
expect
se
from someone
perder.
suicidal.
Não ficar tanto.
Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Not this again.
So I got hold of the officer.
Ó, tem que tirar foto de alguma.
I should probably... Right. Sorry.
Beleza. A gente já tem que descer aqui. Vamos conversar com...
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlisle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here is the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlisle.
Tá.
This is very useful
Tá, a
information.
gente tem que conversar com
So
a
how
galera,
does one
né?
solve a murder mystery, 47?
Patrick Carlisle.
Motive, means,
Can you
and
tell me
opportunity,
where you
I
were
believe.
yesterday evening?
May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps do you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really
Liga na
tense
minha
these
mãe.
days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get...
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexa used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him, then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So...
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary tops himself. I know I would.
Ele acho que não tem suspeito, né? Acho que
Mr. Fernsby. I don't like...
seja
He
suicídio.
could have done it.
Legal. Patrick já foi. Tem alguma coisa aqui? Não, não vou aqui finalizar. Não, aqui não.
Sir?
You look tanned. I bet Mother spent the last week at her Cyprus estate. Am I right?
I'm not at liberty to say, ma'am.
Oh, come on. I need to know what's going on. This affects me too, you know.
Rebecca Carlisle, can you tell me about yesterday?
Aqui, ó, quando que ela passa pra cá e ele fica ali, dá o tempo de eu envenenar ela se eu quiser. Entendeu?
Patrick, Gregory's son,
Caramba, tá dando vontade. Dá pra mim matar todo mundo, na verdade.
Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is there anything else?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is that everything, Mr.
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Beleza, da Rebecca já foi. Tá, aqui tem mais um e ali tem outro, né?
Emma Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Anything else you want?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. How do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Is that all?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
Legal, aí vai faltar esse e o cara do
Gregory Carlisle, can you tell me where you...
Ó, vai faltar o Edward, que o Gregor eu já tô...
You're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Is that all?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Anything else?
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Legal. Ó, aqui também dá pra me envenenar, tá vendo? Cadê o outro lá? Olha aqui. O Edward.
Professor Edward Carlisle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory...
Esqueci de escanear umas coisas lá no... lá atrás.
I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. If that's all?
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff, all the company he had. Anything else?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
Tá. Beleza.
You always led by example rather than by words and meaningless gestures.
Aqui, né, ó. Ó, aqui. Um quadro. Aí aqui. Beleza.
Bad news, I'm afraid. We don't have any extra fuses. Ethel looked everywhere.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. No power, no portrait.
Oh, Madame Carlisle will be furious.
So, Madame Carlisle?
She expects the family photo to be done any moment now.
I need this shoot to happen, okay? And I need it to be perfect. Can't we just take a fuse from another fuse box?
I guess we could do that.
Good. I'll finish setting up, and then we'll grab the fuse just before you call down the family.
Good. Yeah, that's a good plan.
Bom, falar pra você que dá pra mim pegar isso. Que eu tenho que levantar para ativar, ele vai ver.
Good day to you, move, sir.
Like 74% said they believed the slap was justified. 15% said it wasn't. And 11% said she should have done it, but with slightly less force.
I'll put it as plainly as possible. I don't care who you are or how many fans you got or win. Scratch that.
And it's off.
Beleza, só vamos, só vamos. Encontra um fuzil.
No time for jokes. It's not
A gente vai ter que ir lá pegar o negócio ali, ó.
desperate time. Desperate time.
Why don't you just stay here for a while and relax? Looks like you need it.
That sounds really nice. I think I will, thanks.
I don't believe for a second that Zachary committed suicide. We'd only just run through his plan for the spring seedlings yesterday.
Pronto.
Yes, sure.
Pegou. Aqui não dá pra entrar, né? Quando que me viu aqui? Outra vez, velho. Foi aquele pessoal ali, ó. Até aqui ninguém me vê. Ah, mas tem aquele negócio de água pra todo lado aqui, né? Deixa eu ver o que é aqui. Vai fazer barulho com o tratorzinho, cara. Você acredita?
Don't move. I'll go check.
Sweet.
Oh, sounds like the power's back up. Why don't you take a picture to test it?
Tirar uma foto. Toma. Pera. Não, não tirei. Calma. Esqueci de clicar. Toma. Aí.
I wonder if he
It
does
works.
headshots.
I'm ready for the shoot.
Perfect. I'll call the family down now then.
Excellent, 47. Madame Carlisle is on her way down for the family photo shoot. Let's see if any memorable moments will play out in front of the camera.
História completada. Agora a gente tem que vir. Ó, essa aqui a gente completou, né? Tá, mas calma aí. Cadê o negócio? F1. História da missão. Beleza. Tá, agora a gente tem que fazer o negócio direito aqui. Pra gente não errar. Aqui quem pode olhar é aquela.
Frank is busting our balls out here too.
Câmera.
This is a table showing lethal dosages for the poison used to kill Zachary.
Chave inglesa. Eu não peguei a chave inglesa. Eu esqueci de pegar a chave inglesa. Tem alguma aqui? Ó, pegar essa chave. Aonde eu vou achar uma chave inglesa? Será que aqui eu vou achar alguma chave inglesa? Tem... O que tem aqui? Ah, não é a chave inglesa. Isso aqui. Madeira? O que eu quero com madeira? Solta isso. Será que isso aqui não dá? Deve ter alguma aqui por aqui. Aqui, ó. Conseguimos. Repara. Criar o veneno. Beleza. Pega. Criar outro veneno. É isso. Dá pra criar 2 venenos. Beleza. Criei veneno. Beleza. Tem algum hóspede que eu não interroguei ainda? Oxi. Tá, onde a gente vai aqui? Aqui a gente vai o bagulho do fotógrafo. Objetivos, mapa. Tem algum lugar pra abrir aqui, ó.
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
Ué, aqui não mostrou pra nós, hein? Opa! Uma chave. Pego isso. E isso.
Zachary's diary. This is big. He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And
outro veneno. Caramba, outro veneno, cara. A gente tá cheio do veneno.
Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident.
Painkillers.
And 47.
Lethal.
The handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself. But not the poison used to kill Zachary. Of course, Madame Carlisle doesn't know that. Are you considering to frame the butler, 47?
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I?
Apareceu da Rosie aqui agora. De novo?
We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning. He said he needed someone real to talk
A
to.
senhora, sai daí, que você vai atrapalhar de novo.
When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's...
Possível suspeito. Tá vendo? Fica como possível suspeito, ele
He's an
fica.
idiot. That's what he is.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any strangers outside the house?
No, we saw no one outside. Except Patrick.
Quem que é ele? Ele é o... Suspeitos. Mano, ele é o primeiro lá, né?
Mother, Emma. We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and we had to hide. You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will you? She'd insist Madame Carlisle fire me. I'm sure of it.
Too right she will. She's always going on about how things will change once she's in charge of Thornbridge Manor.
Já era, né?
I'm getting a headache from all the decisions. I mean, pram or stroller, comforter or not. Should I ask her to marry me? What if she says no? You...
Uma banana. Tem alguma coisa pra fazer com ele?
I shouldn't gossip, but that Emma woman is a tad too busy for my taste.
Não tinha alguma coisa que era... Meu Deus, é Rona.
And her son Patrick is just as bad.
Tem quarto aqui embaixo que eu não fui ainda, eu acho. Que eu fui... E dá pra subir, né? Tem alguma coisa aqui?
So, how long have you been working?
About a month.
You're American. What on earth are you doing in this shithole?
Tá, aqui tem coisa na direita. Tem quarto pra mim entrar aqui, se eu não me engano.
Oh, come on. Pretty please? Sorry, but I think Right.
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room.
I bet he's stringing all the girls along like that anyway.
Eu tenho que entrar no quarto da Emma aqui, ó.
Or do I like the fact he's not?
Say what?
Ai, eu tenho a chave. Eu não sabia que eu tinha chave. Que isso?
A keychain pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing? Now this is interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery.
Ó, tem alguma coisa
And listen
aqui,
to
ó.
this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens. You have uncovered enough evidence to tell Madame Carlisle that Emma is the murderer. Quite
Informar o senhor Ah lá. Então, peraí. Só tem que informar pra ele os suspeitos. Portada final. Emma, possível suspeita. Então é a Emma.
I suggest you go tell Mr. Fernsby. Unless you think there are more secrets to uncover.
Opa. Opa, vamos conversar.
Present my conclusion to Madame Carlisle.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
Beleza. O que é aqui? Nossa, dá pra nem camuflar. Calmou, senhora, calmou. Vou te dar um mata-leão aqui no meio, hein? É um mata-leão, um socão, 3 tiros.
This is Madame Carlisle's office. Please step inside.
Reunir-se com Alexa. Então é a Emma, né? Ah, Emma.
Have gained you access to the lion's den, 47.
Cada um com seus problemas.
Claim your reward.
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat.
Take a seat.
Please,
Down.
go ahead.
Vamos acusar a Emma.
Your niece, Emma Carlisle, murdered your
Essa
brother
sobrinha
Zachary.
My
Emma.
niece? Emma is not my niece. She's my daughter-in-law.
Muito nova.
And your niece. Emma is the illegitimate child of your late older brother Montgomery, who you and Zachary killed 46 years ago.
That's preposterous.
You asked me to find out what happened to Zachary. Would you rather not know?
No. No, go on.
I found a letter from Emma's mother, Jane, who was the fiancée of your older brother at the time of his death. She witnessed how you and Zachary pushed him off the balcony. She believed you did it to steal the Carlisle empire from her and her unborn child. And she raised Emma to reclaim what she lost. Marry your heir, Gregory, get revenge, and secure the Carlisle empire for her bloodline generations to come.
Emma is the daughter of Montgomery and that local girl, Jane.
She is.
Well, the girl got it wrong. I didn't steal anything. I did what was necessary to protect the future of the Carlisles. Montgomery wasn't cut out to take over from father, all heart and no balls.
Emma used the funeral gathering to speed up her installment as the lady of the house, seizing the opportunity to stage Zachary's suicide. She did her homework, used a poison made from one of Zachary's rare plants, found old floor plans from Thornbridge Manor to gain access to his room through a secret passage.
That scheming bitch.
More than you think. I found proof that she will try to poison you next.
Well, I'll have to take care of that. Thank you, Mr. Whitmer. You have not disappointed. I promised you I would reward you generously if you solved the case. So, what do you suggest?
Dinheiro, informe.
I want the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Edwards, the constant. But how do you... Oh, I see. I expected you might show up. But to kill me, not help me. But I've been wrong on so many things lately, so why not this one? I will give you the file on Edwards. You've earned it. I don't suppose I could convince you to deal with my daughter-in-law now you're here. I would like to see her dead. No? What a shame. I'll have to see to it some other way then.
Eita! Isso aí.
The file you want is in the safe. God, I hope you get Edwards and make him hurt. I need some privacy. Thank you.
Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlisle. Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Mano, apareceu a missão de eliminar ela? Suspeitos, história da missão. Busca a saída. Desculpa, senhor. Assassinato, objetivo completado. Então vamos embora. Onde que é o negócio mesmo? Aqui, né? Ó. Vai pra cá. Pra esquerda. Ah. Aqui. Não matamos ninguém. Quer dizer, uma morte. Só de uma pessoa. O resto da galera aí. Eu vou sair normal por aqui, vai que dá BO.
They're everywhere. Go, get out! It's the Constantine. Shit!
Vamos! Tá lá! O homem é foda! Que isso? $28.000 de XP. Tá, vamos, 5 estrelas. Ó a maestria. Nível 10. Nível 11. Só vamos. Ó, liberamos mais coisas. Mais uma pistolinha. Uma gásua. Ó, que isso aqui é um... Pra colocar um jardim, um jardineiro. Sala de personal. Olha, graças a um disfarce de guarda. 40... Eita. Banho. Quarto. Invernando. Opa. Aí sim, hein? Aí sim, galera. Bom, galera. Terminamos o mapa da Alexa. Da Alexa, é isso? Se não me engano. Da Alexa. Isso, da Alexa. Da Morte em Família. Lá na mansão, beleza? Terminamos por completo 5 estrelas. Quem estiver vendo pelo YouTube, deixa um like, se inscreva no canal, ative o sininho para não perder nenhum vídeo. Estarei postando mais vídeos de Hitman 47, World of Assassination, beleza? Aqui no canal. Então, deixa um like, deixa um comentário se você tiver com alguma dúvida. Tamo junto. Muito obrigado para quem está curtindo aí. Valeu, falou, fui!